Hello, friends. Welcome to Ruxana's audiobook library. Let us go ahead with part 2 of the fifth book, Night of the Ninjas. This is the fourth chapter named Captured. The ninjas pulled iron bands off their hands. The bands had spikes like claws on them.
That's how they climbed the tree, Annie whispered to Jack.
The ninjas stared at Jack and Annie with dark, piercing eyes. The rest of their faces were covered by their scarves. Jack felt frozen under their stares. Annie wasn't frozen though. She stepped right up to them.
Hi, she said.
The ninjas didn't say hi back. They didn't move at all. They were as still as Jack.
We're trying to help our friend Morgan, said Annie.
She held up Morgan's note. The tall ninja took the note from her. He looked at it. Then he gave it to the short ninja. The two ninjas stared at each other. Then they looked back at Jack and Annie. Finally, the short ninja nodded once. He put the note into the pocket of his shirt.
You can help us? Annie asked.
Neither ninja spoke. Jack wished he could see their faces. He couldn't tell what they were thinking. The short ninja tossed the rope ladder back out of the treehouse. The tall one pointed down the ladder. Then he pointed at Jack and Annie. Oh, thought Jack. Were they being captured?
Us? Go with you? Said Annie.
The ninja nodded.
Oh boy, said Annie.
Oh boy, is she nuts? Wondered Jack. The short ninja darted down the ladder. He went hand over hand. His feet didn't touch the rungs of the ladder. The tall one did the same. Jack gasped. The ninjas moved very fast. They were like spiders dropping from webs.
Wow, said Annie.
Now's our chance to leave, said Jack. Quick! He looked around the treehouse again. Where was that Pennsylvania book?
Let's go with them, Jack, said Annie.
No, this isn't a game, Jack said.
But I think they know something about Morgan, said Annie.
She started down the ladder. Come back, said Jack. But it was too late. Jack sighed. Why does this always happen? He asked himself.
Come on, Jack, came Annie's voice from below.
Jack put his notebook and the ninja book into his pack. He pushed his glasses into place and he started down the ladder. Jack joined Annie and the ninjas on the ground. The sun had fallen behind the hills. The sky was streaked with red and gold. The mouse peeked out from Annie's sweatshirt pouch.
Don't be scared, Peanut, Annie whispered. We'll take care of you.
Great, thought Jack. But who is going to take care of us? The short ninja held Jack's arm in one hand and Annie's arm in the other. He led them through the twilight. The tall ninja walked behind them. Where are we going? Jack asked. The ninja stopped near the rushing water of the wide stream. The water roared as it raced downhill. The short ninja looked at Jack and Annie. He let go of their arms, then he pushed them toward the stream.
You want us to cross it? Shouted Annie.
The ninja nodded. Then he and the short ninja stepped into the wild stream. They started wading across. Let's run back to the tree house, said Jack.
No, we have to follow them, said Annie.
For Morgan's sake? Jack took a deep breath. She was right. And he grabbed Jack's hand. Together they stepped into the water.
Yikes! They both screamed and jumped out.
It was the coldest water Jack had ever felt. It was colder than ice. It was so cold it felt like fire.
I can't go back in, said Annie.
Shivering. Me neither, said Jack. I'll have a heart attack. The ninjas looked at Jack and Annie. Then they turned around and came back. The tall ninja grabbed Jack. Help! Jack cried. But the ninja lifted Jack high into the air. and put him on his shoulder. The two ninjas walked through the waist high water with Jack on the shoulders of one of them and Annie on the other. The short ninja put Annie on his shoulder. Then the two ninjas stepped into the stream again. The icy wild water swirled around them. It went up to the short ninja's waist. But the ninjas moved through the stream as calmly as two sailing ships. Chapter 5 Flames in the Mist. The water grew shallow again. Then they were on dry land. The ninjas lowered Jack and Annie to the ground.
Thanks, said Annie.
Thanks, said Jack. Squeak, said the mouse. The ninjas said nothing, but they looked around. Jack looked around too. A full moon was rising in the sky. Dark rocks dotted the side of the mountain. Then the ninjas started moving. They went silently up the slope, between the rocks. Jack and Annie followed them. Jack wasn't afraid of the ninjas now. In fact, he was starting to like them. Maybe they really could help find Morgan. The ninjas moved silently, but Jack and Annie made plenty of noise. They panted as they climbed the rocky hillside. Their wet sneakers made squishy sounds. Suddenly, the ninjas froze. Jack could see their eyes darting around. Voices were coming from the valley below. Jack saw torches flaming in the mist. The ninjas started moving faster. Jack and Annie hurried after them.
Who's carrying the torches? Annie asked.
Jack was too out of breath to speak. He also didn't have an answer. They came to a pine forest. Night birds called out. Wind rattled the branches. The ninjas moved like ghosts through the forest. They appeared and disappeared through moonlight and shadows. Jack and Annie struggled to keep up. Finally, the ninjas came to a stop. One ninja held out his hand as if to say, "Wait." Then both ninjas stepped away into the shadows of the trees and were gone.
Where did they go? Said Annie.
I don't know, said Jack. Maybe the book can tell us. He pulled the ninja book out of his pack. He turned the pages until he came to a picture of a cave. By the light of the full moon, he read. Sometimes ninjas held meetings in hidden mountain caves to plan secret missions. Oh man, said Jack. I bet they went inside a hidden cave. He pulled out his notebook and pencil and he wrote, Meetings in hidden caves. Jack turned the page. He stared at the picture of a ninja sitting on a mat. He read, Ninjas took orders from a ninja master. The master was a mysterious, wise person who knew many secrets of nature. Wow, whispered Jack. Just then the two ninjas returned. Jack quickly put his books away. The short ninja motioned for Jack and Annie to follow. In the shadows was the entrance of a dark cave.
What's in there? Annie whispered.
The ninja master, Jack whispered back. Chapter 6 Shadow Warrior. Jack and Annie went into the cave. They followed the ninja through the darkness. The back of the cave was lit with dozens of candles. Shadows danced on the walls. In the flickering light, Jack saw a dark figure sitting on a woven mat. The ninja master. The ninja bowed to the master. Then he stepped to one side. The master stared at Jack and Annie. Sit, he said. A ninja sits on a rectangular mat in the back of the cave lit by many candles, and another ninja bows forward while Jack and Annie follow behind. Jack and Annie sat on the cold, hard floor. Squeak! The mouse poked its head out of Annie's pouch.
It's okay, Peanuts, said Annie.
The master stared at the mouse for a moment. Then he looked at Jack. Who are you? He asked. I am Jack, and that's my sister Annie, Jack answered. Where do you come from? The master asked.
Frog Creek, Pennsylvania, Annie answered.
Why are you here? He asked. We are trying to help our friend Morgan Le Fay, said Jack.
She left us a message. Annie pointed to the short ninja. We gave the message to him.
You mean you gave the message to her, said the ninja master, and she has given it to me.
She?
Said Jack and Annie together. The woman ninja's eyes sparkled. Jack thought she might be smiling. The master held up Morgan's note. Perhaps I can help you, he said. But first, you must prove yourselves worthy of my help. Just then, the tall ninja appeared. He made a sign to the master. The master stood up. He handed Morgan's note to Annie. We must go now, he said. The samurai are close. Samurai? Said Jack. He knew that the samurai were fierce Japanese fighters. Were they the ones in the valley? Jack asked. The ones with the torches? Yes, our family is at war with them, said the master. We must leave before they find us.
But what about helping Morgan? Said Annie.
The master strapped on his sword. I have no time now, he said. I must go.
Can't we go with you? Said Annie.
No, there is no place for you where we are going. You must find your own way back to your house in the trees. Alone? Said Jack. Yes, you must go alone and beware of the samurai. Why? Said Jack. They will think you are one of us, said the master. They will ask you no questions. They will show you no mercy.
Yikes, whispered Annie.
But you have seen the way of the ninja. You can practice it yourselves now, said the master. How? Said Jack. Remember 3 things, said the master. What? Said Jack. Use nature, be nature, follow nature.
I can do that, Annie said.
Jack looked at her. You can? He said. The master turned to Jack. Your tree house lies to the east. That is the way you must go, he said. How? Wondered Jack. How do we find the east? Before he could ask, the master bowed. Then he disappeared into the shadows. The 2 ninjas led Jack and Annie out of the cave into the moonlight. The tall one pointed at the pine forest. Then the 2 disappeared into the darkness. Jack and Annie were all alone.